that are so late. I'm here. Oh wait, that's all the way down. Shit. That's cool. Who's gonna be the first homie? We're gonna start this live stream off talking about this book right here, The Game of Life and How to Play it. I don't know if that's mirrored for you. I don't know what that looks like for you, but we're gonna be talking about this book a little bit because it's a very good book when it comes to manifestation and the law of attraction, and also just like a well-rounded way of thinking and living positively in life. So we're going to touch on that here in a moment. Let me sip my kombucha. Let me sip my kombucha right after brushing my teeth, might I add. Oh, god damn, bro, that don't taste good. Kombucha. Yo, Max, what's good, man? What's going on, bro? Your life has been intense, man. What's going on? We're going to talk about this book here in a moment, but I want to hear what's going on for you. How are you? I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm doing very good. My life is getting intense in a good way. You know what I mean? Things starting to come together and unfold and blossom. I am so excited for this summer, bro. Like, I'm so ready for that warmer weather and the sun and traveling and getting to do live streams and make videos outside and shit. Like, I am so ready for it, man. Having a garden, I am ready for summer. That was poking me, bro. I had to leave my rehab, had positive alcohol and weed tests, have to do another program now. I got a letter saying I'm done, but probation officer wants me to do... Why did you have alcohol and weed in your system? Were you drinking and smoking when you shouldn't have been? Got an $800 hair drug test because I thought I was fucked and wanted to prove my innocence, but it wasn't even it, bro. God damn. What are you doing? What are you doing wrong, bro? Are you still smoking and drinking and shit when you shouldn't be? I didn't, bro. I've been sober for mad long. Why did you test positive then? That's so weird. I don't understand why that works. I see some people pulling up. What's up, guys? Once some more people pull up in here, I want to take a moment talking about this book here because this book is fire. Michelle says hi. Michelle McCullough. I know that last name. How are you doing, homie? Welcome to the live stream. I see a bunch of people. Hey, guys. My name is Devin. I run the YouTube channel. I talk about spirituality and self-development and self-transformation and that kind of stuff. And honestly, right now would be a really good time to get into the topic of what I wanted to talk about, or at least to begin tonight's live stream about. Hi, FIFA and Glow 10 Bug. Good to see you guys. Thank you for pulling up. But no, manifestation and the law of attraction, if that's something you ever heard of, that is something I am deeply passionate about and actively learning about, you know, in my life. And it's something that's very real. You know, manifestation is this thing that's made out to be like this like woo-woo mystical bullshit. And you can't really blame that narrative because a lot of the people that get into it are the new agers that like give everything they get into a bad rep, you know. But when you look into the roots and the origin of the law of attraction and manifestation and this kind of stuff, and like authors like what I'm about to share in this book, you start to realize that there's a very deep truth, a very deep undertone or undercurrent of truth running through all of this. And what that is that your thoughts, what you think, the psychological and emotional state that you most predominantly occupy within yourself is what begins to harden into a physical reality in your life, where the state that you live in a majority of the time, positive, negative, anywhere in between, is what you will begin to see precipitating on the outside in your life. Where if you live regularly in like the victim mentality, you feel like the economy's gone to shit and you're a victim of the past and you're a victim of circumstances and everything has just gone to shit, you begin to attract more of that into your life, because when you occupy a particular state intensely enough, you begin to weed out everything that goes against that, and you begin to attract more into your life of that which is in congruence with that state that you're occupying in your life. It's kind of, to put it simply, it's a form of confirmation bias in a way, where this confirmation bias is this term in psychology where you look for in the world what you already believe to be true. You seek out that which is already what you believe to be true. Where a lot of people, if they have a particular belief system, they tend to hang out with people who have similar belief systems. And they kind of avoid people who have a different belief system because those people challenge their narrative. So they create a social circle that's oriented around what they believe in. And also, it goes way further than that, where if you have, like I said, for example, a victim mentality, you will seemingly sift out all the experiences in your life that go against that, being stuff that is potential for growth and opportunities that lift you up and blessings and miracles. You'll sift through that shit. And you'll look for that which is in line with your victim mentality. You will literally, like if you believe to yourself, I only attract toxic partners, or everybody I get with always cheats on me or always leaves, you will seek out partners who are toxic so that you can fulfill that dialogue, that narrative that you have within. You will seek out shitty situations to reiterate to you the truth of what you're stating within, of what you're saying within yourself, of you're saying, they always leave me. You're going to look for partners that will leave you. You say, they're always toxic, they always treat me poorly. You're going to be attracted to people that treat you poorly, because a lot of us would rather suffer but feel right in our suffering. Be able to go, see, they always leave. See, they always cheat on me. See, the world always fucks me over. We would rather be right and loyal to our suffering than to let go of that suffering and be in the unknown, where the real potential of growth and development and fulfillment actually lives. You know? Your fulfillment lies outside of your comfort zone. Your fulfillment lies outside of the narrative you have built around what life is, assuming you're living in a negative narrative, you know what I mean? What's going on in here? Hey, what's up, Daddy Isla? How you doing, man? I'm talking about manifestation. I want to talk about this book that I've been reading, man. It's right here in this bowl I'm fixing to light. Well, once you get done with that bowl, you're probably going to be fixing to get another bowl, right? That's how that works. Chasing the dragon, bro. Can I be a mod, Pulls and thank you? Absolutely not. Bro, I got grounded for 2 weeks. If you're grounded, you probably shouldn't be in this live stream. Hello says New Beginning. I like the name. What's up, man? That is positive. No, I'm going to get the munchies and go eat. Well, I'm talking like ultimately, like beyond tonight, you know? I need to manifest me some nachos and a Verner's. What the hell? What's a Verner's? I don't know what that is. Nice username, bro. Tell me this. How many of you guys, I know a lot of you guys don't even know who the fuck I am and like what I talk about and stuff. My name is Devin, and I talk about self-development and spirituality and these kinds of things. Tell me, there's got to be something in your life that you wish that you could materialize and manifest in your life. Cody, maybe for you it's a fucking a shitload of weed, right? Daddy Ilo, maybe you want some nachos, bro, right? Soda, we got that. Firefly Organics, no, I've never heard of that. Are you a yogi? No, I don't even practice yoga. But no, we all got something that we want in our life, right? Now, when you want something, you're kind of in a way putting it out beyond you. You're putting it up on this pedestal and you're saying, I don't have it now and I want it. And usually, the degree to which we want something, where like the more intensely we want something, the more unrealistic it feels for us to have it. You think about, you see like a baddie, a 10 out of 10, whether it's a guy or a girl or whatever. The more you want them, the more uncomfortable it makes you, and therefore the less likely you think it is for you to have them. The more you want them, the more you pedestalize them, the more unrealistic it seems for you to have them in your life as a partner, because you don't see yourself as somebody being able to maintain a 10 out of 10, right? Oh my gosh, my beautiful mother has arrived. How old are you? How do you know about the world? I don't know. I'm 25. I almost said 24. I just recently turned 25. And I don't know. It might have had to do with the fact that I got into like spirituality and psychedelics at 16 years old. But no, the more you want something, the more important you make it. Like, you think, an example I often use is like a job interview. You lock in an interview with a job that's like right up your alley. It's what you want to do. Good pay, good salary, beautiful opportunity. And they say, we'll see you at the end of the week for a interview. Because of how bad you want the job, because of how important it would be to get that job, what you do is you spend the whole week praying to God that it goes right. I hope I get this job. What if I'm not cut out? What if I stumble over my words? What if I'm not good enough? What if I have a stain on my shirt? What if they hire somebody else before me? All of this doubt and all of this insecurity. And then when you show up to the job, rather than having recited to yourself confidence, groundedness, poise, composure, security in yourself, confidence in yourself and your performance, all you've recited all week long is insecurity. And I don't know if I have what it takes, and I don't think I'm going to get, and oh my God, this is so important, I really hope I get this. And that energy is broadcasted. You most likely do stumble over your words. They pick up on it. You make a fool of yourself and you get declined. You see how that works? The more important you make the thing you want, the less likely it is for it to happen, the less likely you are to acquire that thing, because when something's really important, it's really above you, and you literally put it out beyond your reach, where you don't see yourself as somebody even maybe being worthy of having it. Like I was talking about with the 10 out of 10 baddie. You guys hit it off one night, and then you sabotage the situation because you don't see having that 10 out of 10 baddie in your life as congruent with who you are. You see it as you don't deserve it. You're not good enough, right? This is so unrealistic, right? You see having your dreams fulfilled as unrealistic. You say, oh, I'm just little old me. There's no way I could ever be financially free. There's no way I could ever be in a loving, reciprocal, healthy relationship. There's no way I could ever have that job. There's no way I could ever lose that weight. There's no way I could ever score in that sport, or whatever the thing is that you want, and you're pedestalizing it because you want it. The degree to which you want it is also sort of proportionate to the degree to which you sort of push it away from you. Infamy Cat, what's good, man? I'm so glad to see you here. I saw your comment right before I went live here. I almost told you to come hang out on the live. So getting into drugs at a young age of 16 constitutes life wisdom. Actually sounds like what would stunt one's maturity. Well, I don't, the only reason I correlate the two is because I wasn't getting into drugs, yes, on paper that's what it looks like, but I was learning, I was exploring my own mind, and I was investigating myself and learning about myself and exploring spirituality and Eastern mysticism and philosophy and all these really far out things, at a young age where my mind was like Play-Doh, you know? And it's why I'm here right now. Psychedelics are a medicine. Yes, I agree. You sound like you're in your early 20s at best. You're right. I'm 25 and are trying to preach to everyone else about how to live their lives. No, I'm preaching about how I live my life. And hopefully maybe it's useful to you guys to some extent. If not, you can just keep scrolling, you know? That's the fun part about free will. You sold me weed when I was skiing at Sunday River? How did you find me? What the hell, bro? This is the second live stream in a row where I've ran into somebody that knows me through the cannabis industry because I work in the cannabis industry as a hash maker. Tell me what I sold you weed? Did I sell it to you or did I give it to you? I love your grace, son. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I feel you. Age doesn't matter when it comes to wisdom. That's facts. It'd be awesome if the older you got, the wiser you were, but that's not true at all. That's not true at all. You know? That's a way more honest and fair answer than I expected, dude. Well, I appreciate you, man, and thank you for being receptive to it. And it's probably because people don't... You're so used to seeing arrogant people that think they know, you know? And that talk shit and are blunt and rude and closed-minded. That's not the kind of environment this place is. You aren't wise, though. Well, two things. I'm not saying I am, and also, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know what wisdom is? I'm 31, and I already see you can give me guidance. You're 31. What's your favorite kind of content on my channel, bro? I am still a daily smoker and I hate it. Well, you don't obviously hate it that much because you're still doing it. If you hated it enough, you'd stop. That's how I stand on that. The older I get, the dumber I feel. That's hilarious. All right, somebody asked me about manifestation. Where did I see that comment? Have you practiced manifesting and what has worked for you? Okay, so where I am right now is okay, here, no, actually, let me tie it into this right now. I actually literally just made a video last night talking about this. My job right now, I work in the cannabis industry as a hash maker. Now, that job, I don't even smoke weed anymore, believe it or not. I don't even smoke weed anymore. It's not really my passion. Working in cannabis is not my passion. My passion now is YouTube and coaching and that kind of stuff, being a content creator, showing up, spending my time creating content and sharing what I've learned and meeting new people like you. That's my passion right now. And it has been for a little over a year now. But the job that I have right now as a hash maker in the cannabis industry was literally the dream that I had like a few years ago. I am living the dream of my past self right now. The version of myself I used to be, I'm living the dream of that version of myself. When I was younger, I was a stoner, you know, from like, you know, I started smoking weed when I was young, but from like 16 to 20 or so, I was like a major stoner, like all into weed. I wanted my own cannabis business. I knew for certain that the second I turned 21, I was going to work in the cannabis industry, and I did. The second I turned 21, I quit my job that I did have and started working as a bud tender, right? And then that place that I was working at, this is beautiful, where I had a vision. My past self. I wanted to work in the cannabis industry, but not only that, I wanted to work with the plants, and I wanted to be a hash maker. I thought that was the coolest shit. I thought it was all that in a bag of chips, being a hash maker. It is really cool. But that's what I wanted to do. You know, that's what I wanted to do. So I get this job as a bud tender, and it's badass because I'm in the cannabis industry. But then the place ends up getting shut down because one of the co-owners didn't sign the lease to renew the license or whatever. So the place had to shut down. So we're all scrambling, looking for jobs. And one of my coworkers comes up to me and they say to me, "Yo, man, there's this ad on Indeed to get a job as a hash maker, you know, close to where I'm working." And I was going to take it, but I know that you really like hash and all that, so I wanted to offer it to you. And I jumped right on that shit. I was like, oh my God, dude, this is sick. And I applied for the job, and I got the job, and I've been working there for close to 4 years now. Close to 4 years now I've been working as a hash maker. And funny enough, while I was working as a bud tender, I stopped smoking weed. That's its own little story where I took a little break, and when I went back to it, it was like really strong, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. But long story short is I'm living the dream of my past self, because that past self version of me planted seeds which ripened in time. That's how manifestation works. Where when you're passionate about something, when you desire something, you plant seeds of action. You plant a seed, you say, I want this. And you begin following that thread of excitement where you've planted that seed, and kind of in a way, the fertilizer is the faith and dedication and commitment and consistency that you have around that thing that you want. Where when you really want something, you naturally follow that thread of excitement. And that's precisely what happened to me, where my younger self planted seeds of working in that particular job, which ripened in time. And because of that, it's where I am now, where even though I don't have the same passion that I did a few years ago, I'm living the dream of my past self, because there's a delayed response where our life is kind of like a reflection of our internal state, of our desires, of our passions, of that which we're acting on, which generally speaking is in line with what we want. And when you want something great enough and you act on it in a particular way, you will undoubtedly see the results of that, the harvest of that, externalized and pushed out and projected in your 3D world. You know? It's literally like a mirror reflection. Where think about it like this. Your life is a mirror reflection of your internal state, the state that you're most predominantly occupying. And if so, if your external world is a reflection of your internal state, if you want the external world to change, if you want the circumstances of your life to change, you need to change. That's the kicker. That's what we don't understand. We sit around waiting for the external to change to then give us permission to feel particular feelings within. I'm going to wait to be financially free to be happy. I'm going to wait to find love to be happy. I'm going to wait for X, Y, and Z so that I can then feel whatever it is we want to feel. But we're working completely backwards. The way we need to be working is to feel the feelings of fulfillment now, which then in time result in a change on the outside. Where if you wait for the outside to change, if the outside is a reflection of your inner state, that's essentially like looking at a mirror and you're frowning because the reflection's frowning. And you're frowning because you want the reflection to smile. You're like, why isn't the reflection smiling? It's a reflection. If you want the reflection to smile, you need to smile. If you want your external life to change, your internal state needs to change. Period. That's the way it works. You know? My internal state is my responsibility. That's facts. That's facts. I have so many passions and interests, but no support from friends or family. Well, I feel you. It's nice to have support from your friends or family, but you pursuing your passions and interests should not be contingent on the support from external validation. If anything, the reason that they aren't like this is often the case is like the reason they aren't supporting you is most likely because they don't see you as somebody living that life that you want to live. Whatever your passion, dreams, or hobbies are, they're so used to you not being that person that to see you chasing that dream and realizing those goals and building this life oriented around what you're passionate about, it's inconsistent with who they see you to be, and it's almost threatening to them. It's alarming to them because you're beginning to change. You're beginning to deviate from who they know you to be and who they've known you to be for so long. Oftentimes, your friends and families are the worst ones when it comes to supporting your dreams. They may support them half-heartedly because you're the friend and they're your friends and family, but deep down, they're almost threatened by it because you pursuing something that deviates from what they know you to be gives them the feeling that you're changing from who they know you to be, which we don't like. We don't like that kind of change. So there's this sort of subconscious projection of energy that they project onto you, which is don't pursue your dreams. Stay as who you are. Stay small. Stay as the person I know you to be. Because when you change, it makes me feel weird. It makes me feel small. It reminds me of what I'm not doing myself. Right? And our friends and family are often the ones who have the closest, immediate, and most consistent access to us. So, therefore, those are usually the people to sabotage us pursuing our dreams the most. You know? Do you have a P.O. box? Where can I send you my merch? If you're dead ass, hit me up on Instagram, devingilliam.yt, or just Devin Gilliam on Instagram. That's my main account. What's everybody saying? Humans want approval from others, acceptance, and safety and security. Yes, they do, but what sucks is when us living our life is held back from us because we aren't like getting that acceptance and approval and validation. That's the shitty part. That's the scary part, is where you sort of, it's called pinging, where you're pinging off of other people. What you do is like you have a dream or a goal or whatever, you know, or you start doing something new. And what you do is because you want acceptance, security, approval, safety, that kind of stuff, you do this thing called social pinging, where you ping off of people in your immediate environment, generally your friends, family, partner, coworkers, that kind of stuff. And you say, is what I'm doing okay? That's the energy. You probably don't work that way, but you share it with them. You express it to them. And there's this almost, you sharing that with them, there's this preemptive question in there of, is this a good idea? Should I do this? What do you think? Is this good enough? Am I doing a good job? And what they reflect back to you generally informs you or gives you these feelings of either validation or invalidation, which then brings you to either continue on in that direction or to give it up. Like you ever like gotten a new outfit and your friends were like, oh my God, that's so weird. And you're like, yeah, right, that's so weird. And you bury it in your closet and never wear it again, even though you thought it was cool. Or you tell your friends or your partner about this idea that you had and they're like, that's kind of weird. And you're like, yeah, right, I thought it was a stupid idea too, even though you wanted to do it. That's the shitty part about seeking external validation, is when you limit yourself based off of that pinging that you do off of other people, where you're saying, is this a good idea? Am I good enough? Is this the right direction? And then when they give you that information back, you base your decisions and the direction of your life off of what they think and what they want you to do. That is the detriment of seeking external validation. I do that to myself. What do you mean? Like you talk yourself out of your own dreams and shit? Just DM'd you. Yeah, I saw it, bro. I'll hit you up after the live. But also social pinging. Yeah. Like think about when we were kids. Maybe your kids, if you have kids, they do this as well. They're about to do some stupid shit. Maybe you can remember you doing this as a kid. You're about to do some stupid shit, but before you do that stupid shit, you look to see if your parents are going to see you do that stupid shit because you know it's stupid. But you need somebody else. You need a big dog to tell you it's a dumb idea. And if they don't, you just do it anyway, right? Or like when you fall and get hurt. This is a huge one. This is really interesting. If a baby falls and gets hurt, and everybody in the baby's environment goes, oh my God, are you okay? The baby looks around at everybody and flips out. Starts wailing and bawling and crying, even though it didn't really hurt. And the reason that is because they did an immediate ping off of everybody in the room to say, how should I feel about what just happened? Right? That's what they do. Whereas if the baby falls, and it's obviously not dangerous, they just bonk their head or whatever, and the people in the room giggle and laugh and pick the baby, and you're good, what the heck was that? And like, you just carry on and not even really react to it, the baby doesn't cry. The baby doesn't get hurt. Because the reason it was hurt was because of the freaked out reaction of everybody else on the outside. Listen to this makes me realize I can do better. Thanks, man. That means the world to me to hear, genuinely, bro. The fact that you're listening to this and it's landing and resonating with you and making you realize things on the end, I love that so much, and that's what I'm here for, man. I have more money than everyone in this chat. I don't know why, but I feel like that's cap. And also that's completely out of context and like extremely arrogant if it's true. Diva says, hello, what's up, homie? Justin wants the naughty bench. What's going on? Lambo says, hi, what's up, homie? I'm sorry, I haven't been reading the chat, guys. I'm in a flow state right now. Jada says, hi, what's up? What I figured out is that the universe is shrunk down into a limited form that is limited in movement. What is that in regard to? I don't know exactly what that was in reference to. Honestly, yeah, album says, honestly, I've been lost recently, but what you talk about make me think I can do better. You undoubtedly can do better. You absolutely can. It's within your power. You know how they talk about you can't teach an old dog new tricks? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Bobby, invest in teaching our children in America about critical thinking. I love it. I love Oreo cookies. Hell yeah. I have 11 viewers and 11 likes right now. 11, guys. But I regret eating the whole box because now my tummy hurts. Yeah, that's a lot of Oreos, dog. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm going up in the chat right now reading about Squirrel Sniper. It's good to see you, man. I never formally said hi. What's up, bro? Okay, I read that. MRA, are you still here? Kombucha? Yeah, I'm sipping on that booch. Sipping on that booch. Hi from Ireland. What's up, homie? I got a friend in Ireland. She might pull up into the live stream. I like your shirt. Thank you so much. I love this shirt, dude. Work of art. The shirt's fire. Mom, this is what I was wearing in Montana on our hike. What you sipping on? Yeah. The old bucha. I also have another protocol called the first to record principle. It's where a baby sees something for the first time. No idea, not judgment. It's what's need to investigate a baseline. How do you investigate that? That's the interesting thing, is like, we would love to know what a baby experiences, but they can't tell you. You guys want to hear a really, really far out subject? I'm going to lose some of you as I say this, okay? This is really far out. There is no evidence whatsoever that thinking even exists. The only evidence we have of thinking is when somebody says they're thinking. That's it. It's completely subjective. There is no evidence of thought activity at all. What we do have evidence of is the brain will light up in particular areas, but that's not showing us anything. All that shows us on an objective level is that part of the brain is lighting up. And we would not know what that means if it weren't for the person who said, I'm feeling fear right now. I'm feeling joy right now. I'm feeling pain right now. That's where the correlation between that part of the brain lighting up and thinking this particular kind of way is happening. That's the only correlation. But there isn't any evidence of a thought at all. You can't find a thought. It's not a substance. It's not a thing. You can't find it in a neurotransmitter. You can't find it in the synapses. You can't find it in a particular part of the brain. Thoughts don't exist. They're like a metacognition that are affecting the brain, but can't be objectively found. You see what I'm saying? The only evidence we have of thinking is that we all say we're thinking. I'm thinking. I'm having thoughts right now. But you can't find that thought. That's a really far out one. Like people that say consciousness is a product of the brain, we don't know that. You kidding me? My mom and I were literally just talking about this the other day. We say consciousness is a product of the brain, and if consciousness isn't a product of the brain, how come when the body dies, they're not conscious anymore? Well, it's kind of like how, it's like we say, if consciousness isn't a product of the brain, why does it disappear when somebody dies? That's like saying, if I destroy the TV, why doesn't the Channel 7 work anymore? Channel 7 still works, still exists in the air as a frequency, right? But there isn't a receiver to transmit Channel 7. You know? Our bodies and the bodies of many animals and sentient beings are like transmitters. They're like radios that receive and broadcast consciousness, and when the body gets injured or when the body dies, that consciousness can't transmit through it. The death of a being doesn't say anything about the consciousness that was broadcasting through it. Somebody not being conscious anymore when they die does not say anything about the consciousness that animated through them when they were alive. In the same way, when you smash a TV and destroy it, that doesn't destroy Channel 7. It's still Channel 7 on that TV in the other room, but you destroyed the TV that you had that was broadcasting Channel 7. So now you don't know where Channel 7 is anymore. But Channel 7 still exists, right? And people also say, well, if consciousness isn't produced by the brain and body, why does consciousness get affected when the brain gets damaged? Same thing if you have a scratch or some sort of messed up malfunction in the TV. There's going to be a glitch. It's not going to project clearly. And once again, that says nothing about Channel 7. It says everything about the receiver and broadcaster, the transmitter of Channel 7. You see what I'm saying? You cannot demonstrate consciousness exists outside. Well, how would you? And why would you need to? You can't. You can't. Consciousness, how would you do that? Like, how do you imagine demonstrating consciousness outside of the body? You're saying you can't prove it. What would that look like to prove it? What is it? We need evidence to believe things. Not really. Not really. Like I don't know when you got here, but I was literally just saying there's not even evidence of thought. The only evidence we have of thoughts is people stating, I'm thinking right now. All we can look at objectively is parts of the brain lighting up and shit. But that's not thoughts. That's parts of the brain lighting up. You can't find a thought. No one has ever found a thought. They've only ever been experienced on a subjective level. You know? So how could you see consciousness outside of the body? You know? You need to prove consciousness apart from the body in order for it to mean consciousness isn't created by the body. How do you go about doing that? And also, there's more evidence that consciousness does exist beyond the body. You know, like when all the people with near-death experiences that are clinically dead, you talk about all the proof and evidence and hard facts, when the doctors are standing over a dead corpse that is literally biologically dead, right? For a prolonged period of time. And then that person comes back, whether through resuscitation or whatever, and then they state experiences they had in that interval of time where doctors, the hard fact scientists, thought that body was dead and literally could not be conscious, right? How do you account for that? What does that mean? Are they insane? Are they Yeah, it's sending spasms and signals, right? That's the best we've got, is spasms and signals. The brain is malfunctioning. Yeah, that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. You're experiencing, because if you talk about, if it's a malfunction of the brain, first of all, we're talking about somebody who's not even like, they're not even alive. There's no function in their body whatsoever. They're dead. But then they come back and talk about experience. Hey, thank you, bro. Much love, homie. Give some love to Regio for the donation, man. Thank you. My wife just got home, so I have to go, but you should invite callers. I don't know how to do that on these kinds of live streams. I think I have to do it from my computer. And I wouldn't be able to hang out with all you new homies on my computer because it only shows my PC live streams to my subscribers. But thank you for hanging out for the time being, bro. No people with NDE have ever told their story without being alive. Yeah, that's true. And that's another thing where even those who have experienced NDEs, like you stated, Oscar, they've only ever reported on them while alive. We have no evidence of what happens in death from death. It's only ever been reported back once they were alive again. An NDE is a near-death experience. Not that that stands for. It's where somebody either almost dies or literally does clinically die for a short period of time, and then they have this profound, oftentimes mystical experience, and then they come back and recall it. And the idea is that they experienced that NDE when they shouldn't have been able to, when they, according to science, should have been dead and therefore not inexistent. You know? Do you belong in a God? I take it you meant, do you believe in a God? Do you believe in God? Yes. Absolutely. Well, I was under the impression when you die, your brain floods with hallucinogenics. That could be the case. That could be the case. But once again, like, when you've been dead for a long time, the brain doesn't have any ability to transmit and experience those hallucinogenics, you know? Like, along those lines, we talk about, like, when you die, DMT is released into the brain. If that's true, which I don't doubt that it is at all, what I think DMT is in that instance, the actual function it serves in being present in the human body, because you got to admit, like, when you do DMT, you come back and you wonder, why the fuck does this have to be in my body? Why is this in my body naturally and endogenously? What's the point of having this in my body? An experience like that. Well, what if it's a bridge? What if DMT is kind of like a ferry that takes you to and from life and death? Where when you die, whatever the soul is, whatever the self is, whatever your consciousness is, DMT acts as a sort of ferry that navigates your soul or your consciousness out of your body and then into some other dimension, right? Where what if that's the literal physical, biological role that DMT plays, where DMT has the ability to sort of, it's the substance that can interact with consciousness, right? It's a substance that directly correlates and engages with your consciousness or your soul. And when you die, when you biologically die, all that DMT is released and it carries, it allows this door to open for your soul to move through it. Isn't that kind of far out to think about? Lydia Henson says, hello, what's up, homie? You should sell your own merchandise on your channel. I've thought of that. I do kind of want, I have some stuff, you know, like my motto is like, do today different. Imagine a little coffee cup, do today different. No, I wouldn't do coffee cups. That's lame. I would do shirts. I would make shirts kind of like this, but they say do today different on them. I've thought about that. That's just something I haven't gotten around to. How do you get over losing your trust in people / the world after being betrayed multiple times? I don't think it's about getting over losing your trust in people and in the world. I think rather than that, because that's kind of coming from the energy that you need to get over it. Get over the fact that you don't trust the world and you don't have faith in the world and you don't trust people. You need to get over that. So I think that question is being asked in an almost self-deprecating kind of way, where how do I get over the fact that I've been hurt from being betrayed? You don't get over it. You integrate it and you incorporate it. You acknowledge it and you allow space for that pain. You don't push it away. You don't, by any stretch of the imagination, force yourself to trust and force yourself to be okay with being betrayed, right? You don't force those kinds of things, but you don't push away the reality of the pain that you feel in being betrayed. But I will say this. Think about it like this. Have you ever had a pet? Have you ever had a pet that passed away? You know how it fucking sucked? That period of grief? Let me ask you this. Do you think all the time you got to spend with that beautiful, loving pet was not worth it because of the pain that you experienced when it died? Do you think the grief that you experience when that pet dies makes you regret ever having that pet? Would you abolish the experience of having that pet just to spare you the grief of when it left? You see what I'm saying? Like people who, when a pet dies, they say, I'm never having a pet again because it hurt so bad when the pet died. But what about the 10, 15 years of joy and love and connection and cuddling and companionship? What about that part? Are you really going to rob yourself of the joy of love and connection and communion with another person or another animal just because of the grief you experience when it leaves? Everything in our life is impermanent, even us. It comes and it goes. And to sort of create this callus where you say, I'm never getting in a relationship again because I got betrayed, all you're doing is robbing yourself of the joy and the fulfillment of that next loving relationship, whether it goes up in flames or whether you fucking go the rest of your lives together. I know people like that. I'm never getting in a relationship again. Fuck that. Love is all the same. They're all the same. Well, now you get to spend the rest of your life constricted, contracted. Fuck the world. That's what you get the rest of your life because you aren't willing to soften into the pain and to soften into the potential of another connection, or the potential of another friendship or another relationship, or the potential of love in having another pet or whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? You protecting yourself from betrayal oftentimes hurts worse than the occasional betrayal that can happen in relationships and friendships and this kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's a good way to think about it. I'm glad you're still here and that resonated. Verasoph says, hi, what's up, homie? How you doing? Bro is speaking to me right now. My pet passed away recently. I remember you talking about it, man. I actually remember that. How has that been? That's exactly how I felt for so long after my last ex. Do you still feel like that? It's a completely relatable feeling, but it's also impulsive. You know, it's a knee-jerk survival reaction. It's a survival instinct. Oh my fucking God, that hurt so bad, I'm never doing it again. To experience the most beautiful things in life, you need to be willing to let your heart break again and again and again and again. Because think about it, everything is impermanent. Everything is fleeting. Everything is coming and going. And because that relationship went down in flames in the past, you say, I'm never getting in a relationship ever again. And you therefore effectively rob yourself of ever experiencing the true joy that can and most likely will come in another relationship, whether that one goes up in flames too, or goes the whole rest of your life. Or if you lose a pet and you had that pet for 10 or 15 years and it was amazing, deep companionship and love, and then that pet dies and you say, I'm never having a pet again because of the pain that I'm experiencing in it leaving me. You're robbing yourself of that joy and that fulfillment and that companionship just out of trying to protect yourself from the temporary pain of it leaving. Everything will leave. Everything comes and goes, even us, you know? And you are costing yourself so much more by protecting yourself from pain than you are by being willing to open and soften into life, understanding that in order to love deeply, you will also hand in hand have to hurt deeply. They go together. That's the way this dualistic multiplicity of form goes in the 3D. Is if you want to experience deep love, you're also risking experiencing deep heartbreak. Now, it hurts worse to try to protect yourself from that heartbreak than it does to allow your heart to feel and allow your heart to open and also respectively allow your heart to break when the time comes. You see what I'm saying? She left as well, but it just showed me I can always get another. Yes. How long has it been? You are dead speaking to my soul right now. I don't know how I can relate so much. Oh, I love it. It's because we're on the same vibe, homie. We're on the same vibe. And it's that feeling of somebody speaking your language. We all know that feeling, man. And it's amazing. It shows you that what you feel inside, you're not alone in that. You're not alone in that. And me saying it right now doesn't, like, I'm not even teaching you anything. I'm saying what you already know to be true. That's the really cool part, is it's just triggering what you already know on a deep, perhaps subconscious level to already be true. That's the beautiful part. The fact that you even recognize that it's relating and resonating with you is because it's already a prerequisite within you. Oh. Actually, an acquaintance of mine refused to use the tea due to not messing with the natural end process. What is the tea you're speaking of? Who's hold on, view deleted message. What did he say? The fact that you had to delete that. That's hilarious. That's so fucking funny. The fact that my mom has to witness you fucking brain rot degenerates. Isn't that funny? Cosmic Master Spy, you do know that the one who keeps deleting your messages is literally my biological mother. Yeah, you just got timed out. That's so funny, dude. Annoying. Yeah, it's honestly funny. I appreciate you, Mom and Oscar, the mods here, keeping the chat clean for me while I talk. Keep allowing so that the only people that get to be here are the ones that actually vibe and relate. By the way, guys, Infamy Cap. The smile with a tear. Infamy Cap. I have a Discord community, bro, and I would love to have you in there. My mom is in there. Oscar's in there. I don't think there's any others here in the chat right now that are in there. Maybe. But yeah, you should join the Discord, bro, because it's like a big ass group chat where we hang out. And that's also, you said you wanted to you would attend that event that I put on, the live event. That's where we would talk about when it would be held, and that's one of the other locations that the invitation would be shared as well. But you're also on my newsletter now, so it'll be sent through there too. But no, I would love to see you in the Discord chat, the Discord community, bro, because we'd be able to chat anytime. We wouldn't have to be YouTube replies away. It's in the bio. Yep. If it's called the Inner Shift Society. It's gonna have you put in your email, and you're already on the newsletter, but you put in your email, hit join now, and it'll bring you onto the backside of Discord where you can join the community in there. So yeah, just click the link in the bio that says join the Inner Shift Society, and it'll bring you to the Discord. I also got you on Instagram, bro, so I'll just share it with you there too. And that goes for everybody, by the way. If you vibe with me and you vibe with the people in this chat right now, you should definitely join my private Discord community, where that's where we all hang out. And it's a beautiful place to collab and talk whenever we feel like talking, you know. Who said something? Jesus Christ is in the chat. That's crazy. Jesus Christ said, "What's cracking?" Damn, that's a far out opening line for Jesus Christ. I would expect something different than that. Come on, bro. I'm just reading some previous chats. Okay, yeah, that was a while ago. Who's hanging out here still? I'm not even like aware of what we've talked about this whole time, man. It's been a complete flow sesh. Yeah, I remember all that chat. Squirrel Sniper, are you still here, bro? You're always on some like legit fucking research stuff. What do you guys think though? Maybe that was the maybe that's it for tonight's live stream. It's kind of up to you guys right now. That was a good stream. No, they will come. What, more people? That is usually what happens. I'll try to like, yeah, have you tried DMT? There we go. That's another spark up right there. Oh, you've been on for an hour. Didn't say, yeah, it's been an hour. Infamy Cap, I've tried DMT probably between 30 and 40 times. Both in really high doses and like moderate sub-perceptual doses as well. DMT, you want to talk about DMT? I'd love to talk about DMT, man. DMT is a very, very far out thing. When you do DMT, you come out of it wondering, to put it simply, I think I said this earlier, why the fuck is this in my brain and body naturally? Why is this a naturally occurring thing? Why do I need DMT in my body? Serotonin, yeah, that makes sense. Dopamine, yeah, that makes sense. Endorphins, yeah, that makes sense. Cortisol, that shit all makes sense. But DMT, why do I need that shit in my body, bruh? Like, when you do DMT and you're like, what the hell is that for? Right? Is this an LGBTQ support video? Yes, it is. You nailed it, bro. You nailed it. Welcome home, man. You found your tribe. On God says, hello. What's up, homie? Infamy Cap, have you tried DMT? For all the new people here right now, we've moved from talking about like self-development and shit to psychedelic drugs. We're talking about DMT now. Which I'm down for it. You guys want to see my cat Yang? I did feel like I finally found my YouTube community, and no, I can't get it anywhere here. I'll tell you this right now. Yeah, never mind. I will tell you more later. I like acid myself. Do you? That's cool. I've done LSD probably 10 to 15 times. You gotta make it. Topher, yeah. That's what's up, bro. We're getting the psychedelic homies in the lives in the chat now. Yep, when it comes to DMT, that is typically the route people take, objectively speaking. Howdy, says Yoda's Green Wiener. What's up, dude? If you can make Kool-Aid and Ice Cubes, you could make Deems. That's hysterical, dude. I'm on my shroom wave at the moment. Really? That's cool. Psilocybin mushrooms are the psychedelic that I've tried the least. I've probably only taken mushrooms probably like 2 to 4 times, 3 or 4 times. All in low doses too, but LSD and DMT are the psychedelics that I've tried the most. I've taken like disgusting amounts of LSD, and dude, why is everybody in the chat so like fucking like that's so funny that you guys all know this shit. That's hilarious. I'm just gonna say that right now. You guys like know your shit. I import my bark from South America. Yeah, right, exactly. That's hysterical. Have you ever taken Jenkum? Oh my god, me and my friends used to joke about that shit. I had a complete experience with my cats. Oh my god, speaking of my cats, there's my boy. That's my boy right there. He's cleaning himself. Look at that man. Look at that man. Cleaning those beans. Bean excavation right there. And then we got this baby. Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing, baby? What are you doing, honey? YouTube knows our shit. That's how I got you in my recommended. I love it, dude. Dude, that's also, I'm not surprised about all the psychedelic wise ass homies here in the chat, because that was my original niche, was like psychedelics. Dude, another one, Mimosa Hostilis. That's fucking hysterical. You guys know what you're talking about. That's hilarious. And no, I take it that you were serious about the Jenkum thing. No, I've never done that. That's fucking insane. Like 7 years ago. The acacia bark from Hawaii is invasive. It's from invasive trees and makes really good deem. It's also, isn't it super orange and fatty, right? Whereas mimosa makes very clean, pure shit. Obviously, you can clean the acacia stuff, but... Bro, your shirt is like hella trippy, is it? I love it. I love this shirt, bro. I did 1 yard of cocaine back in the day. Did you know you can buy San Pedro cactus from Home Depot? 2 things. No. Also, check this out. There's my San Pedro cactus. It's hiding. She's hanging out back there, bro. Look at that. Look at that, baby. That's funny. Speaking of San Pedro. Yeah, I got San Pedro, and then I got this right here, the prickly pear. That's also my book, by the way, if you want to buy it. You want to talk about psychedelics? This is the book you want, guys. Hold on, let me advertise this real quick. This book right here is back when I was an acid head and like took psychedelics like all the time, and I wrote an 800-page book talking about my experiences, and there's also like a 50 or so page introduction, which is basically like a short autobiography detailing how I even ended up where I am now, you know? Talking about taking psychedelics at 16 years old and like how everything led from one thing to the next. And I love this book so much. Dude, that's been harvested one time. We can tell... No, actually, Oscar, that's not the case. What it is it's suffering. I bought it at the height where it looks like it was harvested. I bought it that tall, and all this extra growth is from me not raising it in an optimal environment. It's called etoliation. I actually learned it from somebody on my live stream. That's called etoliated, where she ain't getting enough sunlight, unfortunately. Where can we get the book? It's in the bio as well. You can go into my bio at the top of my YouTube channel where you see all the links, and you'll see one that says buy my book, Trippy Love. That's what it's called, Trippy Love. I love it so much. Here's the bio. In the preceding months after my first LSD experience, at the ripe age of 16 years old, my mind became absorbed in the fundamental questions of reality. Who am I? Why are we here? What does it mean to exist? What even is existence? What are these feelings of love and pain within me? What does it mean for there to be a you and I? I had tapped into a perennial source of wonder, amazement, curiosity, and magic. I had tapped into the divine, a place I knew long ago but had been taught out of. As I plunged deeper into my own soul and psyche, becoming consumed more and more by the ineffable power and force of the universe, I created a YouTube channel and began detailing the very things I was experiencing. Starting in the summer of 2019 and spanning to the present day, I have shared hours of deep philosophical discussions about God, consciousness, existence, human psychology, ego and sense of self, love, death, suffering, mysticism, shamanism, non-duality, meditation, psychedelic experiences, and much more. This book is a compilation of direct transcriptions of over 54 hours of those talks. If you enjoy studying and reading about philosophy, psychology, spirituality, and psychedelic drugs, you will enjoy this book. Join me in reading this book as a venture into the mind of a fellow spiritual seeker who's walking the path home. May you be at ease. I really want you to hear this. May you be at ease. May the fruits of right action ripen in this very lifetime for you. And may you have an epic journey through this magnificent cosmic wonderland. Om. What are your thoughts on Reiki? Dude, it's funny. I don't know shit about Reiki. I don't even know what it is. Jeez, you gotta ban this guy. Hold on, remove. How do I ban him? Okay, he was timed out or whatever. Thank you. Oscar, what did you say? Cool of you to actually write that book. Yeah, man, I love it. I spent like 3 years on it, man. All right, here's something. Here's part of. Look, we're gonna read a little bit, from the autobiography section. Hide viewer is to ban. Yeah, that's what we got to do. Keegan is my brother, by the way. Keegan and I's journeying and experimenting with psychedelics burned with energy for nearly 3 years in total. During our acid trips, we would experience telepathic communication and one-mindedness. We wouldn't recognize it in the moment of it, but we would share the same thoughts simultaneously or respond to something that the other person was thinking. At times, it even seemed that we were having the very same LSD trip itself, as if we were literally one being. We would have the same visual hallucination and make a remark about it at the same time. We would both hear the same audio distortion in a song or video that we were listening to. We would both think the same particular aspect of something was funny or weird or awe-inspiring. It was like the edges between our separation drastically softened, if not disappeared in entirety. We would dance together with the godlike presence of Lucy, which is a name for LSD. It truly was like we were in communion with some sort of transcendent, primordial, all-knowing entity, LSD. We associated this entity with being the very depth and wisdom behind LSD. Keegan would make a statement. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. There's no one correct way. Oh, wait. I just like how the way people have the mindset that you wanting to be single is you being selfish, which is annoying. People need to change their minds. People's minds are deceived by relationships. Game Haven, I feel you, bro. There ain't nothing wrong with being single, bro. If you want to be single out of a pure intention, all the power to you. But if you want to be single because you feel spiteful towards relationships, that's a little bit different. That's a trauma response. Wait, Game Haven, why are you talking shit about Yo Rick? What did he do wrong? Game Haven, I think you're mistaking him talking about you. I think he's talking about somebody else, somebody that was spamming in the channel or the chat or whatever. D-Rex, what are you jealous about? I was talking about this guy spamming. Yeah, exactly. Careful, Game Haven. That you wrote a book, dude. I fucking love this book. Sometimes I'll read from it, kind of like I am right now, and I just feel I'm overwhelmed with gratitude that I dedicated the time that I did to write it, because now it's written, it's complete, you can buy it, I have one, and I never have to fucking work on it again. And it's like, it's done. I did it, you know? Yeah, it's such a fun book too, because there's the autobiography introduction, and then there's like 700 pages of like transcriptions, right? Of talking about spirituality and psychedelics. And then at the end, there's poetry, poems, like little short, well, those are short reflections, like little philosophical things. And then there's poems, poetry. Really, really, really fun stuff. You worked so hard on that. Oh my gosh. I worked on it for like 3 years, dude. Talk about dedication. Like, I worked on it every single day. Some days, most of the time I wanted to. Oh my god, dude. Brain rot. Hide user, yeah. That's crazy. Dude, let's take a moment to acknowledge that that's what he's doing on Earth right now. That's what bro is spending his time doing. Can't you read at least one poem too? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Let's do it. If you guys want me to read from the book, I absolutely will. I love reading from it. All right. There's one in here that I love so much. I gotta find it. Okay, you guys ready for this? This shit's fire. If you were to ask why I meditate, I'd say, I don't know. If I were to meditate to get enlightened, if I were to meditate to better myself, if I were to meditate because I was bored, if I were to meditate because I think it's what I should do, if I were to meditate for any functional cause of the mind, I would realize my own folly and choose not to instead. What would I do then? I'd do nothing. I'd walk about, I'd eat and drink and grasp and cling. I'd be what I am and do what I do, while being nothing and doing nothing. I'd suddenly find myself out in the woods, sitting silently, meditating, only to suddenly realize I just happened to be doing it, like everything else in my life. Life is meditation, not a particular place or posture or rational reason. It just is. That's all. Like you and I. That's all. One day, I'll find myself in meditation, and I won't be asking why I'm meditating. I won't even know why. I just am. Oh God, that's so good. It almost makes me want to tear up. That's good. I'm following you from the beginning. For real? Like the beginning of the YouTube channel? I love it, man. I used to follow him when he started out and was called Northwood Shaman. Yes, dude. That username change is no older than a couple months or so. I recently changed it to my name. And, that's a beautiful thing because it's been a merging of Northwood Shaman and Devin Gilliam over the past entire time I've had the channel. You were minus 100 subscribers. Wait, like I only had 100 or 100 less than now? But no, that was powerful. Thank you. I'm so glad that resonated, man. That's like my favorite poem in this book. I'll read more in a moment. I guess the message is to shut out the noise and to feel being. Yes, and it also sort of speaks to destiny and we're not really choosing. Life is just kind of happening. We don't have to choose and do. We don't have to force. It's all just happening. It all just is, right? Less than 100 subscribers. There's no way. Bro, I have almost 3,000 subscribers now. And you've been hanging on since before I had 100. Homie, that's crazy. Oh my God, get this idiot out of here. Oh my God. It's crazy. Life is meditation made me sad. Not in a bad way, because I've spent so much time running from my own mind and feelings. We all do. I do it too. Breaking news, I do it too. We all do it, man. You're not unique in that. You're not unique in running from your own mind and feelings. We all do it. Even embracing your feelings is often a sneaky way of trying to run away from them, because you think the wise thing to do is to, if I embrace them and feel them, they'll go away. So I'm going to embrace them and feel them to make them go away. But that's a cop-out, bro. We're all to some degree living in the dimension of attraction and aversion. We're running towards things while running away from other things, And yeah, when it comes to embracing our emotions and allowing our emotions, our ego can be very sneaky in that, because it learns, if I embrace my emotions, they'll go away. So we do this sort of shoddy surface level, okay, I'm embracing my emotions, why aren't they going away? That's not embracing your emotions. The reality of the situation is to fully allow them. Not to get rid of them, but to understand that there's nothing else you can do. You can't get away from it. You can't run from your own head. Wherever you are, there you are. So the reality of the situation is you realize that it's futile to try to run away from yourself. So you begin to allow yourself. And paradoxically, interestingly, that is exactly how you allow the things you've been running from to resolve and transmute into a higher vibrational energy, which is something you don't have to run from and something you don't have to chase, because it's who you are. My cats want to leave my room really bad right now. Dude, what's going on with these people spamming racial slurs and shit? Who is this idiot? You can't just delete his put user in timeout for 24 hours. Yeah, that should do it. I appreciate that. I'm glad, man. Thoughts on ASMR? I don't know much about it. I think it's really interesting. I get ASMR listening to music, like the chills and shit. But I don't get ASMR listening to people whisper and crackle on their screen and shit and get really close and fucking... I don't get ASMR with that stuff. I still have the regret of not spending more time than what I would have liked to with him, or not getting him a companion. And that's okay. It doesn't feel okay, but it's okay that it doesn't feel okay. And it's okay that you regret not spending more time with him, because you want to know what that is? That's love. That's the other side of love. That's the other face of love. You know, I've often, should I time out and say, yeah, time them out for as long as possible. Yeah. No, I've often described it, yo, Rick, that grief is love in reverse, where grief is, in a way, love with nowhere to go. You know? You can't love that pet in the way you knew how to love it for so long. You're being forced to love that pet in a different way, in a spiritual way, in a way that's transcendent of form. What should I do if my car is running out of gas? I typically instruct people to get out and push. I just paid for a full tank a week ago. Yeah, your best bet, I think, would be to push it. Hey, Dak Dog, those are good. Those are some good jokes, man. Not even gonna cap. Not even mad. I ain't even mad. Good jokes, bro. What's this boy doing? What's this boy doing to me? Don't you dare eat my plant. Don't you dare eat my plant. I see you've already been nibbling on that. Don't do it again. All right, little ma'am, you be a good boy. Oh, goodness. Look at that's mama right there. That's Mama Bear. That's the mama of all these babies. That's the mama of all these babies. That's the mama of all these babies. She's down there. She said, you leave me the fuck alone. You leave me the fuck alone. She looks at me. She's like, why'd you keep all my babies? She's like, why'd you keep all of them? Hey! Don't you eat it. I see you. Look at the damage you doing, bro. Imagine if something came up and just started eating you. How would you feel, little ma'am? Yang, what are you doing? What are you doing, bad girl? She says, shut the fuck up, Devin. Good gravy. Yeah. But wouldn't that be dangerous on the highway? Not if you do it in the breakdown lane. All the best people own cats. That's facts. Do you attend any physical meetings with other people to talk about philosophy, life, and spirituality? No, I don't. I don't know if you're talking about like a group that I hang out with, or if you're asking if I like host events like that. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. But no, I don't have a group that I hang out with to talk about that kind of stuff. That would be sick. I have to go, but thank you for the insight and for sharing your work. I subbed. So much love to you, man. Thank you so much for hanging out, and thank you for the deep questions and the love and the appreciation. It goes right back to you, man. Yeah, like a group or specific event. Nope, I don't. I don't have a group that I attend or anything like that. But I will say, man, hosting, like, dude, I wish that you guys and all the homies, I wish we could all get together and fucking hang out. I wish we could do it regularly. I wish it was easier. I wish I could afford to fucking get all of us together, to spend time together and to grow and to transform together. You know, but it's a little complicated. But that's not fully out of the picture in the future. Live in-person events. Catboy says, hi, what's up, man? What chakra is your most dominant? I don't know. I don't know enough about the chakra system to feel confident stating which one of mine is the most dominant. Yeah, I don't feel confident really speaking on that. It's chakra, by the way. It's not chakra. It's an Indian word, chakra. Chakra. My chakras. Chakra. Has to be the heart chakra. Man. What are you doing, little ma'am? What are you doing, little boy? He said, I don't know. Are you loafing it? Are you assuming a loaf position? What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, little man? Yeah, what are you doing, huh? What are you doing? Carly girl, what are you doing, huh? You sleeping, honey? You sleepy, girl? Bell, what are you doing, honey? Oh, you loafing it. Oh, goodness. My great uncle owns... Oh, wait. Is that dead ass? My great uncle owns a forest behind my house and walked up on a fool. Damn, bro. What are your thoughts on the Four Noble Truths in Buddhism? I like your username, Dukkha Satori. That's awesome. I think they are very practical, very grounded, very sound, and very honest inquiries of the basic fundamental human position and the human predicament of what are they? Correct me if I'm wrong. There is, I feel like I can only remember three. There is suffering. Fresh Baked Tots, maybe you'll remember the Four Noble Truths in Buddhism. There is suffering. This is the ways in which we suffer. This is why we suffer. And this is how to stop suffering. Is that it? There is suffering. This is why we suffer. This is how we suffer. I can only really think of the three. There is suffering. This is why we suffer. And this is how to stop. Here in Sweden, bears are safe. In USA, they seem to be dangerous. I feel that like that would hamper in the quietness and peace I'd seek while being in nature. Yeah, dude. I mean, fucking A. Getting involved with a bear while you're in nature would definitely disturb the peace a little bit. Rob, why'd you say my name, brother? What's up? Devin. You're getting my heart pounding, man. From the moon. What does that mean? I like your profile picture, Rob. Truth of it, existence. Truth of cause, okay. Truth of the end. Oh, you're right. There is suffering. This is why. You can end it, and this is how. Right. That's it. Like Rob, for instance. What are you talking about, Edward? Rob is Fresh Baked Tots. That's my homie, Rob. That's it, man. Yeah, you're right. That's it. I forgot about them. There is suffering. This is why we suffer. There's a way to end it, and this is how you end it. And then that fourth one is the eightfold path. Yeah. Rob. I love it. Life inevitably involves suffering. 2, suffering is caused by craving. Yeah. And 3 is, I'd love to hear how you word it, man. Dukkha. We can be free of suffering and if we stop craving. And 4, there is a way of thinking, acting, and meditating that leads to complete liberation from suffering. Facts. Bro, I went to a Buddhist monastery one time, and this is so funny. Me and my friend left because it felt like a field trip to a fucking Buddhist monastery where we were all the lay people were like, it was like we were all pretending to be Buddhas. Like it felt immature. And the first time we went, it was so nice, so good, so genuine, and it was just what we needed. But then the second time we went, it seemed forced. It seemed out of alignment. It didn't resonate. It was not where we were supposed to be at that time. And we ended up leaving pretending that my friend Jake was sick because we didn't want to be there. Right? And we were laughing our asses off. We were like, what are we doing here, man? We took PTO to come here. And it was so funny, man, because like one of the people, we were in the sala, having tea and cheese and chocolate at 5 in the afternoon, because that's what the Buddha is allowed, right? And man, one of the guys, like there were a bunch of people there, visitors or whatever, and one of the guys came in and he was going through something and he's like, "Man, I'm experiencing so much dukkha right now." And like just looking back on it, it's so funny. Like use like dukkha is suffering. And like I don't know, it's this idea of how like we're using spiritual words to describe things that our language has words for. It doesn't, describing your pain as dukkha doesn't make it different than depression or suffering, or you see what I'm saying? And it was just, it just felt cringy. The whole situation felt cringy. I'm sure you made the people happy there. They typically like seeing others involved. Yes. And the Buddhists, the monks, couldn't care less if we were there or not. They just did their meditations. They'd come for lunch, and we lay people would prepare all the food and lunch every single day. Lunch was like the only thing we had. We had an early breakfast, and then we had lunch at 12, and it was called the meal, and that was the last time we ate. But the monks would all come down in a big old line from their little kutis, I think they were called, little huts out in the woods that they lived in, and they'd have their big begging bowl, and they'd come in, and we'd all pour food into their begging bowls, and then they would go and sit and eat silently. It's such a fucking beautiful tradition. Buddhism is beautiful and crystal clear and pristine. And I guess my friend Jake and I were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It just didn't resonate at the time. You should read the Bible. Some cool stuff in there. Is that a Confederate flag as your wallpaper? Oh my God. Oh. Just started after Kensho. I'm about to sneeze so hard or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I got like this little scrape that's about to make me sneeze. Just started after Kensho because I was atheist. It's really weird. What, the Bible? Child, man, God, Holy Ghost, Christ, God. Bless you. I didn't sneeze yet. King Elaine of Israel. All right, guys, what do you think? What's the move, man? Thinking about calling it here soon. What do you think DMT realms are? What is behind those visions? I have no idea. That is the strongest, most confident, I don't fucking know that I've ever said in my life. I have the slightest idea. I think it's another dimension, whatever that is. I think it's another way of existing that is completely inconsistent with this dimension. There's a crossover between the way our senses, our sight, seeing, feeling, proprioception, the sense of spatial orientation. That stuff is what carries us into the DMT dimension. But then when we're in the DMT dimension, we sense in a completely different way. We sense in like a 4D way, where you're seeing information and you're hearing visions, and you see what I'm saying? Like everything it's happening in a way that is completely inconsistent with the way that we experience reality here. But you somehow retain this sense of sort of coherency and and the ability to compile meaning out of that experience while it's happening. There's an irrefutable feeling that it means something, and it's conveying something, and something is being explored, something is being taught, something is being demonstrated. That space is inhabited by beings that are not you, and you know that irrefutably. You see, like. But as far as what I think it is, I have no idea. In a funny way, it's in the same way that I have no idea what the fuck this is. What is this? What is this? I have no idea what this is either. This is a dimension that I seemingly have never been to before, but I also feel like I know it, and it's absolutely magical and ineffable and seemingly impossible and beautiful and hard and scary, and like it's kind of like this. I have no idea what the fuck life even is, let alone what happens when I smoke dimethyltryptamine. It's YouTube. Do we even know what this is? Exactly right. I believed my thoughts like my children believe play is real. That is Kensho. Seeing through this. Then I believed society/the world is real like a child. I now see through this. It's coming of age. That's like my children believe play is real. That is Kensho. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's interesting. My father spoke to me with DMT. Wait, your name is King Yeshua Peniel Ben David Long of Israel? Are you dead ass right now? Crazy to think none of this is even real, because the only ones who interpret reality are ourselves, and we all perceive differently. Facts. That's funny. You went from what seemed like being silly and like kind of trolling to like being dead ass and like deep. I feel you, man. I resonate with that. Straight up, awakening is merging with the inner child, the ghost of our past. Did you realize the Hindu religion is very similar to Judaism and Christianity? Is it? All the religions are similar. They teach the same truths, yeah. Wait, is that the same guy from earlier with the Confederate flag? Hold on. What the fuck? It's a different guy with the same profile picture? You look trans. I don't know if this is the spot for you, dude. Oh, that's cool how I can like... I'd keep scrolling. What's up, baby? What does trans look like? That's funny. Hi, can you give me some Pokemon cards? Nope. Super gay. MMA, where are you at in the world right now, man? Are you laying in bed, scrolling? Is it dark out? You want a little YouTube journey, scrolling? There are annoying amounts of demons who troll this platform. Don't call them demons. Don't think of it like that. That's what makes them into demons, is by you projecting such a thing. They're just human beings working with the level of consciousness they're at. You see? Jesus Christ says, what is it? Resist not evil, because he knew evil doesn't even exist, so therefore there's nothing to resist. That's a line from this book right here, but The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. She says, Jesus says, resist not evil, because he knew evil doesn't exist, so therefore there's nothing to resist. Evil only exists when you say it does. And that's a really far out thing to claim, because people are like, are you saying that the horrible shit happening in the world doesn't exist? No. No, I'm not. What I'm saying is the projection of the idea of the reality of evil is what makes it exist. And you individually do not have to live on a plane where evil is manifest, because everything can be seen in a way that is conducive to your awakening. What the fuck are they doing down there? Jesus Christ, they just like dropped something. When you believe in evil, you have faith in evil, right? When you believe in good, you have faith in good. And whichever you have faith in, the other doesn't exist in that moment. What the fuck is going on with my nose? I got like a little cut. But if evil does not exist, does goodness exist? See, that's almost still like duality. Like, in a way, all there is the divine, the creator. You know? All there is awakening. And it's almost, Oscar, it's almost the kind of situation where, what do you want to exist? Is your life a battle of good and evil? Only God exists at the end. Have a good one, guys. I'm out. See you later, homie. Thank you for hanging. You got cat hair in your nose. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like a little cut. It like stings and makes me almost sneeze. No, what she talks about in this book, and it's also, by the way, what I'm sharing right now is something that I'm still learning to sort of digest. But I resonate with it. Oh my God, look, there's my cat. Look at my baby. Look at my baby. Florence Scovel Shinn talks about, don't even participate with evil. Don't even live on the plane where it's a force that you have to fight and resist, and oh God, I gotta experience the good and stay away from the evil. No, all there is the good. All there is the divine. You are protected, you are safe, and walk, think, feel, and act equal to that reality. You're good. Have faith in the divine, not faith in evil. Fear and doubt and worry is faith in evil. Take back the power that you have and put that faith into the good. Put that faith into the divine. And no, that does not mean that the shitty things in the world don't exist. What it means is that where you put your attention is on the divine alone. And that is what allows you to create good in the world. That's what allows you to operate on a level which emits only good. That's the best thing you could fucking do. Oh my gosh, Mama, you're still here. I love it. I love it. I love it because you and I talk, we kind of go back and forth on this concept that I'm describing right now. And it's because it's hard to digest. It's hard to understand. What the fuck do you mean there's no evil? But it's like, I see what she's saying, and it's a very fine line. Don't live where there's evil. Just let it go. That's what she describes. I literally wanted to text you that, Mama, that she says, evil, she says fear and doubt is faith in evil. See? Fear and doubt is having faith in evil. Whereas confidence, growth, fulfillment, abundance is faith in the divine, faith in good. So when you fear and when you doubt and when you're worried and fighting the evil, you have faith in the reality of evil. Wow, fear and doubt is faith and evil. That is true. I've felt that. Right, dude? When I heard her say that, I was like, that's far out. His message is essentially, do not let the darkness overcome you. Yes, exactly. And also think about this. Darkness is only existent. Hold on, we got to get this shit. Darkness doesn't exist. Darkness is a lack of light. Darkness only exists in the absence of the actual substance of reality, which is light. Darkness is a lack of light. It's not even its own separate inherent entity. Like a room could be dark for millions of years, but the second light shines into that room, the darkness goes away immediately. Darkness is not a force that competes with light. Darkness is something that is only present where light is not. So become the light, focus on the light, live from the light, and all of the darkness disappears. Maybe not all at once, because things take time. Things have a process where when you plant a seed, it takes a second to reap the harvest. But when you align yourself with the light of the universe and the light of the divine and the light of yourself, all you see is light. All you see is the divine. All you see is good, and everything bad is slowly abolished from your entire life. Same with cold. That's kind of facts. I see what you're saying. Jesus, the scrolling brought me right back. That's funny, bro. You're supposed to be here, man. That's funny. Satan means the accuser in Hebrew, so be gone, Satan. This sounds a lot like how to prevent scrupulosity in OCD. What is that? I don't know what that is. Do you believe in Jesus? Like, do I believe he was a human being? Haha, it brought me to you as well. I love it, dude. I love it. Swipe left this time. That's funny, man. I love you guys. This has been a fun combo. We got some brain rot degenerates hanging out in the chat. That's okay though. They'll either stick around or they'll most likely just keep scrolling, keep on their YouTube scroll. You left me on red on Grindr. There we go. There's some brain rot degeneracy right there. That's sick. I love it. I love how this is all, like, me live streaming isn't only an opportunity to like hang out and chat with you guys, but it's also an opportunity to give these kinds of people a platform to really just share what they've got to offer. You know? Like, it's beautiful. Like, I don't even have to do anything. They just reveal themselves in the chat. You know? This is how they'll be remembered. If they're even remembered. Why are you mad at me? No, I'm not. I'm not. I subscribe to you. Thank you, bro. Much love. Agreed. I gave $100 dono for someone to do it. You gave $100 to get somebody to do a handstand? Bruh. Is that why you were trying to get me to do a handstand earlier? People are sick, Devin. Yeah, people are pretty weird. How long you been collecting stickers for your mug, bro? I got mine almost... I've had this for probably 2 or 3 years. Probably like 2 years. And these are all just like weed stickers, which is what's so funny because I don't even smoke weed. And my tattoos, they say Ram in Hindi. Hold on, I think it's reversed for you guys. See? Ram, 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 Ram. Can't really angle them very right. They say Ram. Ram is a Hindu god. Let me see it, Drew. As much as I would love $100 donation, I don't think I'm in a position fucking where I'm gonna do a handstand for you. That's crazy. You doing the handstand or nah? Bro. I'm not there. That's so fucking funny. Like I would if this wasn't the position I was in for $100. He's not gonna do it, bro. You're not gonna do it. He's gonna make me do a fucking handstand. Somebody's gonna clip it. It's gonna go viral. I'm not gonna get the $100, and I'm gonna look like the spiritual teacher that tried to get $100 by doing a fucking handstand. I can't, bro. I've done some outrageous things on my live streams. I'm just messing around. Good. Because I can't. I'm not going to put myself in that position. I will make $100 otherwise. I will make $100 in a different, better way than that. Dude, the shit you'll see on live streams is outrageous, though. Oh, no, the Chris, I think you were trolling earlier. I think you were one of the brain rot degenerates. I can't remember. Let's go. No, dude. No, we ain't doing that. Thank you for the $2 though. Deadass. Thank you. No, I wasn't. You were one of the sophisticated gentlemen of the chat. My bad. I've done some pretty far out shit on my live streams though. Why can't blind people eat fish? Is this going to be something that leads me in the direction of you trying to get me to say some sort of slur out loud? Bro, I used to stream. I had Not So Sober Saturdays, did world trivia, then tarot card reading. Bro, that's dope. I love it, man. That sounds fun as hell. Because it's seafood. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh no, Chris. All right, I'm gonna help you out of your way here, man. See ya. Wait, who the fuck? Who did I just accidentally? Shit. I just banned the wrong person. Oh, hold on, Chris. I gotta ban you instead. Oh, that sucks. Womp womp. I only hit him. Unhide user on this channel. Okay, there we go. Sick. Missed it. Rest in peace, Chris. Yes. Mixed Up says hi. What's up, homie? What up, dog? What's up, Germanic Celtic? What's up, Funky Bunch? I love it. Icarus flew too close to the sun. Crit. Is this your second account? I was texting you saying you banned me. Not fast enough. Oh, shit. Hope you're having a good day in life, bro. Thank you so much, man. It is a wonderful day and an absolutely amazing life. 100%. Drew, you're back, dude. I'm sorry, bro. I banned the wrong person. I was trying to get rid of one of the many brain rot degenerates in the chat. And I accidentally banned you. You were over here providing high tier humor. And I accidentally banned you. You look like a pothead. What's funny is I'm not. I live a completely sober life. That's facts. I was just getting some water. Cohen Mortensen with the 6-7. Let's go. Yeah. Say one more and I'll ban you. You look cool. Thank you. Hold on. There we go. Gotta get him out of there. I. What is that? I. One more. That's funny. I love the shape of your eyes. Thank you. That's an interesting compliment, but thank you. Banned for 6'7" is pure justice. Dude, that's so funny. I'm just, we're almost 2 hours into the live stream. I'm like, fuck it. I don't even care at this point. I'll ban my own mom. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Good grief. You guys know the spiritual witch is my literal mom, by the way, so you guys better be on your best behavior. That's my literal biological mother. Like, that's a flex, dude. Like, my mom watches my mom is a moderator on my live streams. You will be put in timeout, son. That's so good. I love it. If I banned you, right? I'm back. What has happened so far? A bunch has happened, man. We've talked about a great deal of stuff. My B-day was Sunday. I'm 14, and I hate this generation. Oh, jeez. I feel you, man. That's so funny. Having your mom as a mod is a flex, honestly. It low-key is, dude. Like, somebody's talking some stupid shit in the chat. Boom, you get banned by the woman who literally gave birth to the guy live streaming. It's cool. It's funny, too. It is pretty funny. Oh my god, look at my cat right now. That's my little baby. She's loafing up. She's loafing up. What you doing, honey? You cozy? You sleeping? You sleeping in a little loaf, honey? What do you mean, ew, Rob? What are you ewing over here? I don't eat cat loaf. Come on. Look at that baby. Look at that baby. That's my little Yang baby. And here's little Miss Arabella. That's the mama. What you doing, baby? What you doing? Get it, man. Get that freaking thing. Get that freaking thing, honey. Get it. All pissed off about it. I love my mama. Thank you for hanging out. Much love, fam. Yo, sorry for the shameless promotion, but I like your vibe. Could you please check out my music sometime? I don't know if I'd be able to do that, man. Like, I don't know how to find you. Maybe if you message me or something. Get that fucking thing, dude. Get that thing. Don't let it bully you like that. Get that thing, bro. You gotta be quicker than that, honey. You gotta be quicker than that, little man. Go get that thing. Go get that thing. Oh, he gets it. Go get that thing, bro. Get that thing, dude. Get that thing, dude. Come on. Show us what you're made of. You're live, buddy. You're live. Harness that inner lion, honey. Harness that inner lion. Get that fucking thing, dude. Get that thing, bro. Come on, you're making the fool of yourself, bro. Get it. Get it. Oh. Is this AI? Yes, this is completely AI generated. I don't exist. All right, I think I'm gonna head out, guys. It's like 9 o'clock. That seems like a good time to stop. 2-hour live stream. Any final closing statements before I make my closing statements? Nice chatting with you, bro. Yeah, hey, yo, message me so that I can actually find your account so that I can go check out your music. I can't do it through here right now. Rob, I love you so much, bro. So here's my closing statements. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I go live every Thursday at 7 p.m. and hang out for a couple hours or so and meet new beautiful people like yourself. And if you resonated with the live stream, you will absolutely love the long form content that I actually post on the channel weekly. I post videos every week, long form videos, short form videos every single day. I post on Instagram and TikTok as well. And I also have a Discord community that if you vibe with the kinds of people here, they're all in the Discord community. So if you go onto my YouTube channel, you can click the link that says join the Inner Shift Society, and that will bring you into my the private Discord community, where it's basically like just a huge loving group chat. So I would love to see you guys in there. And also, I work as a self-transformation coach where I talk about this kind of stuff: spirituality, psychology, manifestation, self-development, all oriented around helping you to start insourcing your growth and fulfillment rather than running around like a chicken with its head cut off looking for it and everything else on the outside, right? So if you vibe with me, or if you watch my videos and you resonate with that kind of stuff, I would love to work with you one-on-one. And if that calls to you to an extent, I offer a free first time call where we can meet and get to know each other and talk about the dynamic of what's going on, and see if it would be in both our best interests, like see if it's a good match to work together in the future. So I would love to see you guys there. That's what I do in my free time and in the meantime. But yeah, I would love to see you there. I would love to see you in the Discord community. And also, I'd also love to see you in the comment section on my videos in between each live stream. But yeah, as far as that's concerned, I'll see you guys all next Thursday on my next live stream. Maybe I'll go live, a little surprise live stream this weekend or so. But yeah, with that said, I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope to see you soon. See you guys.